Emotional detachment after a breakup is one of the most misunderstood parts of healing. People think detachment means becoming cold, turning off emotions, pretending you don't care, erasing someone from your memory. But real emotional detachment is none of those things. Emotional detachment is not about becoming self human, it's about becoming less entangled. It's the process of loosening the emotional grip of a relationship it still has on your nervous system, your thoughts, and your sense of self without denying what the love was real. If you're trying to emotionally detach after a breakup and it feels impossible, you're not doing it wrong. You are simply in the middle of biological and emotional recalibration. Why emotional detachment feels so difficult? You don't stay emotionally attached because you want to suffer. You stay attached because your brain and nervous system learned that this person meant safety, comfort, familiarity, emotional regulation, belonging. When the relationship ends, your system doesn't interpret it as a breakup, it interprets it as a threat to safety. That is why you play memories. You feel pulled to check their social media. You crave contact. You feel anxious or empty. This isn't weakness, it's attachment biology. Emotional detachment is not about willpower, it's about retaining the attachment system. Detachment is not the same as suppression. One of the biggest mistakes people make is trying to suppress emotions. They tell themselves, I shouldn't feel this. I need to stop thinking about them. I'm being weak. But suppression keeps attachment alive. What you resist persists. Detachment happens through acknowledgement, not denial. You don't detach by pushing feelings away. You detach by changing your relationship to them. Let's define it clearly. Emotional attachment means you no longer rely on them to regulate your emotions. Their actions no longer determine your self worth. Your thoughts are no longer dominated by them. You can feel without reacting. It does not mean you feel nothing. You hate them. You forget the past. You erase love. Detachment is about neutrality, not numbness. Why your mind understands but your emotions don't. This disconnect is common and painful. Your mind says this relationship is over. Your emotions says but they're still important. This happens because emotional memory lives in a different part of the brain than logic. Emotional detachment requires repetition, safety, new emotional experience, time, not self criticism. Step 1. Stop feeling the attachment loop. Attachment survives on repetition. Every time you revisit old messages, check their social media, replay conversations, fantasize about reconciliation, you reinforce the bond. Detachment begins when you interrupt the loop. This doesn't mean never thinking about them. It means not feeding the attachment. When the urge arises, pause, breathe, redirect. Each interruption weakens the bond. Step 2. Create consistent emotional distance. Emotional distance supports emotional detachment. This includes reducing contact, muting or unfollowing online, avoiding updates through friends, not accidentally checking in. Distance is not punishment, it's nervous system repair. Your nervous system cannot detach while being constantly reactivated. Step 3. Detach from the fantasy, not just the person. Often, what you're attached to is not the person, it's the fantasy. The fantasy of who they could have been, what the relationship might have become, how it felt at its best. But fantasies keep attachment alive. Detachment requires grieving the future you imagined, the version of them you hoped for, the relationship you wanted. Reality, not potential, is what you detach from. Step 4. Regulate your nervous system daily. Emotional attachment lives in the body. That's why detachment feels physical. To detach, you must help your nervous system feel safe without them. This includes gentle movement, deep breathing, regular sleep, nourishing food, quiet routines. When your body feels safe, emotional grip loosens. Step 5. Stop seeking emotional closure from them. Many people stay emotionally attached because they're waiting for an apology, validation, an explanation, reassurance. But seeking emotional closure from the person who triggered the pain keeps the attachment alive. Closure is internal. Detachment begins when you say, I don't need their understandings to move forward. Step 6. Reclaim emotional ownership. When you're attached, your emotions feel dependent. You feel okay if they respond, they show care, they remember you. Detachment means your emotions belong to you again. Your peace is self-generated. Your worth is self-defined. This shift happens gradually. Each time you self-soothe, instead of reaching out, you reclaim emotional ownership. Step 7. Expect emotional withdrawal symptoms. Detachment often feels worse before it feels better. You may experience anxiety, restlessness, sadness, urges to reconnect, emotional emptiness. This is not failure, it's withdrawal. Your system is adjusting to the absence of a familiar emotional stimulus. Ride the wave, it passes. Step 8. Let go of the story you tell yourself. Attachment survives through narrative. Stories like, they were the only one. I won't feel this way again. I lost my chance. These stories keep you emotionally entangled. Detachment requires rewriting the narrative. This was important, not permanent. I am capable of loving again. This ending does not define my future. Let it go. Step 9. Allow love to exist without control. You may still love them. This doesn't mean you are attached. Attachment is about control. Love is about presence. You can hold love as a memory without letting it dictate your actions. This is emotional maturity. Step 10. Trust that detachment is happening quietly. Detachment is subtle. You'll notice longer gaps between thoughts of them, less emotional charge, faster recovery of triggers, more focus on yourself. One day, you'll realize you're not detached because you force it. You're detached because you're healed. Sometimes detachment feels like losing them all over again. That's normal. You'll releasing the last thread of emotional dependency. Let it hurt. It means you're almost free. Emotional detachment is not about forgetting someone you loved. It's about remembering yourself. You are not cold for detaching. You are not heartless. You are healing. Detachment is not the end of love, it's the beginning of peace. Thank you for listening.